Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am here with a fabric panel that I need to cut up. I'm gathering too many of these partial panels and I need to get them off my table and onto eBay. This is a Lorelei panel. I do not have any more of these panels, but I will have whatever I cut today on eBay as a penny auction. Bidding starts at 1 penny, free shipping, and it is for USA only. This might not be exciting, but some of you might get an idea of like different ways to cut things to make it a little easier. I like easy. These border strips, I have two. This is the ladies and the sewing machines. I'm not, cutting those other than just cutting off the strip. There's very little cutting space between panels on Lorelei panels. I get them by the bolt. So in order for me to have separated the panels, I have to get very close to the ladies. So if you use it as a strip, you're going to lose some of the print, but that's okay. Or you can put Wonder under this and then cut out each individual lady for applique. Same with the sewing machines way up there. So I'm going to start by taking these off. Oh, and yes, the reason this is a partial panel is because I believe it was the beginning of a bolt. You can see this piece right here has been cut right into. Again, very close to the, to the next panel. That was either the first one on the bolt or the last one. I'm saying first one because the last one is usually a real hot mess, and this isn't too hot messy. So I'm going to start by taking off the two borders. These squares are just 5 inches. There might be some that are a little bit under. And it's kind of hard to cut exactly between those squares. The fabric gets warped and stuff. So what I do to make that easier is I'm just going to rough cut the strips, and then I'm going to take the blocks down to either 4 3/4 or maybe even 4 1/2, especially because I want them to all match the size of this square. So we'll be going by this one. What I'm going to do first is just take these, let me go on this side. I have less grooves on this side. I'm going to just take these columns apart. And I don't have to be overly concerned if I get a little bit of this block on this one. We want this to be quick and easy. I think there's 32 squares in all. 8 across, 4 down. I'll include this selvage even though there's no excess fabric on it, but some people like it just for the little words. Now let's find that one that was damaged right here. I got interrupted by the phone and I didn't feel like editing to see where I left off, but I think I just pressed this and I think I was going to cut this one that's chewed up here on the top just to see what we can get. So I'm just going to put it over a line and trim. And I think I'll be able to get 4 3/4 out of each square. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this one. But I'm not going to be doing them all one by one like that because that would take time. So let me see what I can do. But see, that's a good size. 4 3/4. Now my ruler isn't quite long enough, but We're going to make it work. So I need to take about 1/8 of an inch off each side. And what's cool is it won't show if I'm a little bit off because the border is, you know, very decorative. So we're good. So once I take 1/8 off this side, I can just turn it now and put this up against a line. And now I can just go 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4 and trim. My memory card got full. It ended abruptly. I edited what I have so far, and this first strip, I'm just going to end up doing it each individual block. Then we'll think of a better way to do this after. Okay, so again, I'm just going to take a little off here. And I'm going to cut this 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4. That one is done. And again, a little off this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4. Whatever way makes the most sense to you is the way to do it. You just want to cut it down. If 4 3/4 is a weird, you know, a weird number for you and it's harder to figure out, go to 4 1/2, go to 4, doesn't matter. I'm okay with 4 3/4, so that's what I'm going with. Those are all super cool. I will have pictures at the end of all these blocks. 4 3/4 all the way around. Now let's take 2 of these and let's try working 2 at a time. I'm going to cut them in half first, like that. Now I am going to actually stack a little bit, and I'm going to take them down to 4 3/4 this way. I'm going to be very brave, and I'm going to do all 4 at once. Like I said, this border, the borders on here are very forgiving. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to take about 1/8 of an inch off this side. I'm just putting it over a line a little bit. I'm totally using my mat for this. Over the line a little bit. I can eyeball that that's about 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch is half of 1/4 of an inch. So you don't want to get right up to your 1/4 of an inch line. Now I'm going to turn it and I'm going to put this side against a line. And now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to 1, 2, 3. That's 3/4. Shall I continue to be brave? I think I shall. All right, again, I'm going to take these down to 4 3/4, 4 3/4. Taking a little bit off the top of this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3/4. All right, there. Now, I do have less border down here than up here. But you know what? Lorelei is famous for things like that. Like, they'll even cut off somebody's head. It'll be like outside of the box, and when you cut, it's not there. So I'm okay with that, as long as you're okay with that, because you're the one that's going to be bidding on these. Maybe, maybe not. And we have these. Now these are very forgiving because they don't even have a border. Lovely. Let me just continue now. got to a point where I was just zipping along. And when you look at these, if you happen to see a little bit of color from the other block that it was connected to, don't worry about it. It will get caught in the seam allowance. But I think these are super cool. You can tell I didn't worry about if these were perfect or not. I just cut 4 3/4. I didn't care if the border was a little bit wider at the top than the bottom. I think they all came out great, and whoever gets these will have fun using them all in one project or a bunch of different projects. So let's look at the images. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye!